Hello everyone, welcome to the last video of our second outline basics with R. So this video is part 5 and we're going to talk about data frames. In this video we will understand what is a data frame, how we can create a data frame. We will also see how we can use some built-in functions for data frame. And then we will see how to access items of a data frame. In the last, we will see how we can make changes in a data frame. So let's get started. In statistical programming language such as R, you will frequently work with the data frames, which is the most basic type of data structure. Data frames are structures that resemble tables or two-dimensional arrays and are very similar to matrices. The distinction is that they can include a variety of data types. The columns may be character, numerical, or logical. Similarly, with the data frames, the columns correspond to the variables, and the rows to the observations or set of values from each column. Now, one important point to consider here is that the type of data and the number of data items in each column should be same. To create data frame, you have to use the function data.frame. The syntax is as below. First of all, you write down the function, then you write down the name, which becomes the part of column, and then equal operator, and then the items. Now, these items are in fact the observations that becomes a part of row, while the name refers to the variable or column name. An important thing to consider here is that a data frame is not typically created by oneself in real life. Usually, they just import it from a database or some other data source such as CSV or Excel files. But just to understand what they are and how they are made, we're going to make them. Let's say I have a data frame from name 1, and then I'm going to be calling the function data.frame. So let's say our data frame consists of 4 variables, and this data frame is about a shop. So let's say we have some items in our data frame, and the items are pizza, burgers, pasta, sandwiches. All right. And then I say my data frame has the second variable or column as price. All right. Let's say the price for pizza is 200. For burgers, it's 150. For pasta, it's 100. And the sandwich is 50. Then I say size. All right. So size should be large. And we have burgers of medium size. And we have pasta of small size. And we have sandwiches of normal size. All right. Then I say I make a column available which tells if the items are available or not today. Let's say I pass through. We have pizza. We don't have burgers. So I will say false. We have pasta and we also have sandwiches. All right. Now I will say print data frame 1 to see my data frame. So you can see here that you have 4 columns or variables, and you have 4 items inside them. We have pasta, pizza, burgers, and so on. So this is how you create a simple data frame. Now let's move back to slides. There are some built-in functions that you can perform on your data frame, such as sort. We can sort the data frame in ascending or descending order. Let's use it. All right. Let's say you want to sort out the data frame 1 items, and what you want to sort is price. All right. Let's print it. So the price is by default in a descending order, which is 200, 150, 100, and 50. Let's get back to slides. Next, we have the function of order, which is used to see the rank or position of an observation in a data frame or sort the data frame according to the order of your own desire. Let's implement. I say print out my data frame 1, but this time I say data frame 1 and put them in the order, and what order I want to apply is on price. All right. Then I say decreasing as false. Now print it. So you can see here that the data frame is in ascending order according to the price. So sandwiches has the lowest price and the pizza has the highest price. So they are now in an order. Next we have dim. Dim function is actually used to know the amount or number of rows and columns in a data frame. Let's say I want to know the dimensions of my data frame 1, and it should be 4. So the number of rows are 4 and number of columns are 4 as well. Next we have structure, that is also used to show the structure of a data frame. Let's see how it works. Frame structure of data frame 1. So you can see here the structure. We have character, name, character, and then a logical variable. In the last, we have summary, that is used to create a statistical summary of the data frame. So in order to use it, I will say print, and then I will call the function. I will pass my data frame, which is data frame 1. And as you can see here that items, the length is 4. It's a class of character. In the price, these are all the statistical measures such as mean, median, mode, and so on. So we're going to talk about these in detail later, so you don't have to worry about this right now. Let's move back to slides. Now the question is that how you can assess the items of a data frame. Is it something different with what you have done with vectors and matrices and lists, or is it the same? So a data frame can be made up of many data structures. In order to assess a data frame's elements, you can pass the index of the component you want to assess inside the brackets. The syntax is as follows. You just have to write down the data frame, then use the bracket and pass the index. Now, an important note here is that the names enclosed in brackets can also be used to assess the elements. Using the colon operator, you can also extract multiple rows and columns. And by using the combine function in brackets, you can extract certain columns and rows. Let's do it. I had my data frame 1. Okay, Now let's say I want to access the items or the first variable. I say data frame 1, then I will use the bracket and say 1. Now let's say this time I want to access the first two rows of the data frame 1. I say combine, give me the first row and second row, and I will use comma, and this way it should give me all of the columns values. See, you got pizza and burgers and all of the columns. But let's say if you just want to know the first two items and their price, so you'll say print data frame 1, then you will use the brackets, combine function, you want the first row and second row, and similarly, I will use the combine function and I say just give me first two columns. So this is how you can access the items of a data frame. Let's say if you just want the second item, which is burger, in the first variable. So you will say print data frame 1, and then I will use the double brackets because this is going to return me a component. Let's say this time I use the name instead of index, and then I say return me the second item, and it should be burgers. Now let's get back to slides. Now, how to make changes in a data frame? This question is quite important and you should know about it. Data frame items can be changed by adding columns and rows. So first of all, let's see how we can add rows. So that's quite simple. All you have to do is to just use the R-bind function to add a single or multiple rows in a data frame. Okay, so let's see it. I have my data frame 1. Now I will use the R-bind function and I say into my data frame 1. What I want to do is to create a new row using R-bind function, and I say create a vector, and here I will pass the values. Let's say I have the fifth item as biggest and the price is 30 and the size is extra small, and it's not available. Now I will say print data frame 1. So here you can see that the fifth item has been added using the R-bind function. Now you might be wondering that how you can add columns. So the procedure is quite the same as the previous one, but this time we will use the cbind function. Let's do it. For instance, I want to add a new column or variable that is of discount into data frame 1, and I say that discount equals to, and the discount on the first item is 5%, on the second it's 10, it's 15, on the third 20, on the fourth and 25 on the last one. Then I say print data frame 1. Let's run it. So the discount column has been added with the help of cbind function. Let's get back to slides. Now, the most important question is that how you can remove the rows and columns once you have added the rows and columns. That's quite simple. All you have to do is to just use the C function and the minus operator with the C function. Let's do it. I say data frame 1 and I want to make changes into data frame 1, and what I want to do is to remove the last column, which is at the 5th index, and the last row as well. All right, now let's print data frame 1 and see the results. So the column and the row both have been removed. Alright guys, so today you have learned about the new data structure which is called data frames, and that is mostly used in R programming language because most of the time you are dealing with the data sets. You have also learned how you can manipulate the data frames and how you can assess the particular or specified items in a data frame and how you can create them. So that's it for today. Good luck. See you next time.